contest with him.
That's right. When you're a character as fast as Sonic, you get to control the pacing of the match through and through. And again, Mr. E, piloting a character like Lucina, she's a pretty cut and dry sort of gal. You know what she's looking for. The problem is that it's just so good, it's very difficult to stop. That standing jab is powerful. She has the running up tilt, down tilt, forward air and nair in the corner. Very daunting task right here for a character even as quick and wily as Sonic the Hedgehog to work around. With that being said, Mystery right here off to a much stronger start than we've seen in that first game.
Yeah, this is what we wanted to see, right? I mean, I feel like, again, Mr. E is somebody who just wants to adapt and may need a little bit of time doing so, and that's the beauty of a best of 5. And you got 3 fans in this rule set, so you have a lot to really play with and give limited options to both of these characters in this matchup. It's quite an even matchup, but in my opinion, I always feel like Sonic favors when it comes into that patient play, neutral gameplay style, and catching these landings is just what he's so good at doing.
That's just Wrath 101 right there, just knowing what you're going to do before you even think about doing it. Love that. Mystery was doing that a little bit earlier on, I believe, versus was it Syrup they went against, or I believe Pocket, but they did a really good job of like using neutral special with the ledge, just the looming threat of it. Doesn't hit, not every time, but it's the threat of that move that's going to keep you at bay, because the minute it breaks that shield, I'm getting back up on that ledge and I'm going to make you pay for it. So both sides here really bleeding out. F smash, of course, being able to extend physically a long way away from Sonic's body, but not enough to hit the mark.
Absolutely.
What is Mystery supposed to do right here to get Sonic back onto solid ground so they can find one of these aerials and close this out?
It's all going to come down to that patient play, and it seems like Mr. E doing an amazing job at that, just holding that shield, understanding that Sonic's skill options are going to be something that is quite committal, and that's the commitment that you need. But Sonic, even though you're a lightweight character, you're still going to take quite the knockback, living to see another day, and that amazing delay here on Wrath's part to wait for that recovery. Let's see, are you going to get the F tilt? I know that it's coming out. Sonic wants that at that high percent. He's a character that's either going to take that stock at, let's say, I don't know, 50% or 200. And there's your answer. 133, hanging on tight. Mr. E takes the first stock.
Mr. E taking the first stock indeed right here. This one just being a testament of just mental resiliency here. Mr. E said, I'm showing up and I'm rising to the occasion. Dancing Blade right here to put on just a little bit more percent before they potentially exit stage right out into the blast zones. You do not want to deal with the Sonic of this caliber out there, off stage. Nair, of course, very potent. Back here, of course, at the ledge where we usually see that move used for Sonic, but it's that forward air first hit being frame 5. I cannot stress enough how important that move is, whether they're throwing it out raw or whether they're using like the Sonic Ride to get you out there. That is a move you do not want to be on the receiving end of at all.
I don't know what it is about Lucina, but a lot of people try to say, what is Spring Ride? Is it true? Is it confirmed? It is not. But for some reason, and I'm the one who uses it most, this character, Lucina and Mars specifically, are the easiest characters in the game to get that Spring Ride on. Don't know if we're going to be able to see it today. I think Wrath is very contested to just play with that safe option, baiting air dodges, punishing, and just edge guarding. So clean here with these nairs. The landing hit of it is going to confirm into the fair.
That's right. Sometimes less is more, certainly at the ledge. I think, again, when Sonic's trying to edge guard some of these characters that are, you know, they have disjoints that they can swing around, and they're comprised of some ingredients like, you know, the Fire Emblem cast. Sometimes it's in your best interest to just let them get back to the ledge and then let them make the mistake for you. The minute you start getting out there and you're trying to, you know, contest against forward air, or hell, in this case, up B, which is something Sonic does not want to be on the receiving end of, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Great parry. First hit nair into F smash. My God, and Mr. E going deep for these.
I love just the rebuttal coming in from both of these players, showcasing now the true set. We want to see this game one. Mystery starting off a little bit late, but you know, Wrath is definitely not making this easy for him, showcasing his Wrath and his speed. F tilt off that parry. We're going to get an edge guard. You see the spring come out. Not going to do so as he drops down, jump, and gets the back.
That's right. Another forward up off that ledge. I got to give it to Mystery, just being so mindful of where Wrath is at every point in time at that ledge, because they know that Wrath's calling card here is not to go off stage anymore. It's to trap at the ledge. There's the spring. Yes. And when I know that the percent is certainly guaranteed, when I know my win condition, then I'm going to get out there and punish accordingly. That all got set up because of backer, but that was a setup right there. Just when you thought it was safe to jump above a character with a disjoint in her hand, Mystery reinforced an idea that it is most certainly not.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a set 0-0 as the damage racks up on both ends, feeling out themselves in neutral. It all comes down to the patience, and that's a commitment you don't want to make against someone as fast as Sonic, but amazing control here, pushing Wrath to the ledge, and that's what it's going to be about, the control that you have on this speedy guy, that if you can't catch him, well, you can play smarter than him.
That's right. Sometimes you have to just kind of guess where they're going to be, and Lucina, I mean, she has the hitboxes that she can kind of put out and read which way Sonic is going to land, but Wrath, of course, is keeping the mobility as ambiguous as ever. There's that F tilt. Nothing on the mark with that, but Of course, still playing this one super cool. Still a lot of match to be played here, coming up a little bit under the 2-minute mark. No doubt in my mind that two talented individuals like this are certainly going to bring the match down to the wire. Nothing off the back here, but that down tilt, the perfect temperature checker early on the counter.
Man, he had such a great idea, too, trying to bait the actual commitment, but Ratchet's a little bit more patient there. Mr. E, though, countering back here with his own edge guard, and obvious way, yes, does find the grab on the roll. A little easy setup, kind of a hug me there, kicking the knee, and another one. Get back off stage, man. I don't care how long this match is going to go, but I'm going to take my time as that time goes down, clocking in.
That's right, and I like what Mystery's doing with that back throw as well, too. I mean, again, it's a Fire Emblem character, so most of your throws don't send you a very far trajectory away, but you know, it's throwing you just at the perfect distance to where they can still keep their back to the ledge and kind of give off that false sense of security. Like, okay, I'm not too far onto the magnifying glass. I can come back to the ledge and maybe roll or jump on. Lucina's back is to you. Please proceed with caution. You know what I'm saying? There might be a back here or a first hit nair into something on the horizon. But wait a minute. Nice. Another forward air. Back here to line it up. Doesn't get anything. And another forward air off stage. Raph dishing out the butt kicking thoroughly.
I love that he waited at the perfect time, right? Sometimes you can't showcase your hands too early. Even though he did get that stock on the first stock in that specific way, he kept it in his back pocket, and he always waits for that jump to be used. That's always what's important. Sonic has such mobility to go out as deep as he can possibly go and still make it back comfortably, and he understood that, hey, when Lucina doesn't have a jump, that's where that mobility is hindered, and that's when that nose is going to stick out and hit you.
That's right. Yeah, definitely getting nosy off stage, if I may say so myself. And both sides kind of cut from a similar cloth, at least when it comes to going off stage. You know, typically we don't see a lot of the Swordy characters go too deep. You know, sometimes, again, they play the trap game. My back is to you at the ledge. I'm either looking for back air or I'm looking for, like, you know, pivot F2. A lot of Swordy characters go for that. But Mystery is one of the, you know, rare exceptions that will go deep. The problem is that you can go deep, but you ain't going deeper than Sonic the Hedgehog out there. I'm going to put it that way. And Raph, of course, proving that theory very true. Potential final game right here from Mr. E. Very curious to see what they're going to do to try to bring themselves back out of this. There's that neutral special at the ledge. Back up, homie.
There it is. Get off of me. Let me back into this match and let me play my game. Pushing it to the edge. Raph not going to even deal with it. Completely left. But here's a sword, okay? If you think you're going to throw your entire body at me, I am definitely going to hit you with that disjoint. The up special out of shield. You know that you're going to see that a lot when it comes down to a commitment from an attack from Sonic. Now we're back on that ledge. You thought you could grab me? Get off.
Get off of me. Hands off the cape, homie. Okay, another up B. Don't get too overzealous with that up B stuff. Okay, because Raph, I mean, again, we've seen it earlier in top 32, and of course in this earlier portion of the top 8, they do a really good job at baiting out certain options. Okay, and of course, I think, again, Lucina and Mark, two characters that are pretty simplistic in their design, so it's really up to the player to really bring the sauce and, you know what I'm saying, really cook up something nice here. Of course, but when it comes to the off-stage game, Raph is the one distributing the sauce perfectly. Nice, there's the spring early on the up B, but no punishment. I can't say they're going to let them come back to the ledge that way twice.
I love that shield poke, okay? You thought that you were safe. Now, if we didn't pay attention, that little bit of speed, you might have missed it if you blinked, but that spring actually ended up shield poking just a little bit to make it hard enough for that back air to hit. And now you have a complete advantage here for Raph, and that's what you want to see. Battlefield, I was questioning this counter pick once again. I think that this just extends the combo game that Sonic offers. You give him that landing whenever he does miss spin dash. You don't want him to contest and get away with these movement options. Mystery having a hard time chasing, and that's the reason that Sonic is running away with this game.
That's right. On foot, nobody's out chasing Sonic the Hedgehog. It just ain't happening in this version of Smash, okay? I don't know what you've been told. But it also, and more importantly, too, in the topic of, you know, these platforms and how they work in conjunction with Sonic, yes, you know, they open up the door for creativity. You can combo very well, but also survivability as well, too. That stock was well past its prime, but the fact that they're able to keep springing out of the way, and sometimes even not even going for the spring, sometimes even using back air to push themselves back on the stage, mixing up Mr. E. Am I going to land on the bottom platforms? Am I going to land on the top ones? Keeping Mr. E guessing is exactly what you need to be doing right here in this match. Oh, no back air. Little off the mark right now. Mystery trying to hold down the middle of the stage. Oh, I got a sword too, said Sonic. It's just my F smash.
He tried to escape from me with that spring. Think again. Again, that is no longer invincible on that startup from the spring. But what is here seems to be Raph, as he's just constantly keeping up the pace. I love these raw back airs coming in from him. He's doing such a great job at putting them out. There's such long-lasting hitboxes. So because of that, he's just controlling these platforms. Mystery giving him a little taste, though, of his own medicine. And I love love that. Understanding that the SDI was so on point for Mr. E, so these spin dashes are not going to connect at such a high percent. So he goes ahead and gets the read on the roll and the get up option instead.
That's right, and the read on the approach right there on Mr. E. Again, going for another up B. There's the spring early on the counter, another up B. Raph one step ahead of the competition and one step closer to closing out this set right here in a very strong fashion. Okay, another dancing blade. Very smart. Again, just put out multiple hitboxes on where you think Raph is going to be. Make sure you're trying to play one step ahead here, but the match starting to unravel at the seams here, it feels.
It's getting a little bit way too far to catch Sonic. He's just, this distance is getting longer and longer. But something to keep in mind is the power that he can do, right? I mean, Mr. E is somebody that can definitely KO out a lot sooner than Sonic if he is too careful and sometimes too hasty, right? You don't want to use too much of that wrath.
No, absolutely not. I think one thing that Mr. E has been doing a really good job of up until this point was how well that they can KO early at the ledge.
Yes.
You know, again, just reading F smash get-ups, you know, down tilt into forward or things like that, the rinse and repeat. But of course, Sonic with their great recovery options, that kind of throws a wrench in Mr. E's plan. So what do? I readjust and use these platforms like how Raph has been using them against me. Gets the up tilt off the top. Again, leaning into the ideology that Lucina's normal, awfully gifted. Jab is frame 5, and then the second one is frame 4, a little quicker. So she got options. Watch how you box her up.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, these secrets are coming out of the sleeves, right? If you have anything left to offer Mr. E, it is now to put them out. I love that he's no longer scared of these spin dashes. He's really starting to understand the momentum that Sonic has and using these platforms as his own tools as he should be doing. That landing there, a little dangerous here. You don't want to be over Sonic. You want to stay under. Mr. E controlling his space.
That's right. See, right now, back towards center stage again. And, of course, if I'm up underneath this platform, my back is to the ledge. Back here, of course, being awfully safe. They're going to toss a couple of those out, but that F tilt, though, just kind of the bane of a lot of players' existence here this weekend. When Raph tosses out that F tilt at the ledge, that means that they are very comfortable and at home. But I tell you what, I tell you who ain't at home anymore, and that's Mr. E right here in this match. Raph going to move on. Mr. E going to drop right there. After a strong start, finished a little colder than he probably expected, but that Lucina was still cooking.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, you know, if this was like a first to 5, I'd love to see how it goes. I think he just needs a little bit more time, but as Sonic says, he's got no time, right? He's waiting for the next match. Raph did